Welcome to a new fragrance review, and today I'm gonna talk about what I think of Aramis. So Aramis, the brand, is a really interesting brand, I believe, and the reason is that they do some old school mass appealing fragrance in my mind. They're not like those usual mass appealing fragrance that like those Bleu de Chanel, Sauvage, Invictus, all those either super fresh or super sweet, or I would say modern fragrance. They're doing old school fragrance, but it seems that what they're doing is things that aim to be mainstream, but or more I should say that aimed in the past to be mainstream. I think I will compare them to Versace. Versace, they do things that are mainstream, that are mass appealing, that people will enjoy, but things that are modern. And Aramis, they do something similar, but more in the past. Don't know if I explain myself well, but this is how I see them. I think what they do is really interesting, really nice. They use different accord than what we're used to. The way they make the fragrance is really different than what we're used to. Again, it's an older brand, but they still kept that old school way of making fragrance. I don't know, I haven't smelled like any vintage fragrance from the brand. I just smell the modern one, but it still get that old school vibe, and I think it's nice. And I think also that they make is really interesting. For example, the original Aramis, it's some aldehyde bomb of a fragrance, a little bit like it was made in the 60s, more like we should say 70s and 80s, like in these years, but still it managed to make itself interesting and have some interesting note like clover inside of it. The same for other fragrance like Aramis 900, which is a rose fragrance, which is extremely bold for a man fragrance. The style is really old school, but it somehow managed to still be relevant today. I think what they did and what they're doing is great. And here's someone that enjoy old school fragrance. You probably already know about them, but if you don't, definitely it's a brand you should take a look at. And if you want to explore old school fragrance, they are a brand you should take a look at. One thing also that I like about that brand is that it seems many fragrance company, they try to hide their past and bring out new fragrance, new stuff. One big example is Paco Rabanne, which their older release are really great and the newest are not as great, even though Invictus is really loved. I would say that their past release are better, but it's just a matter of opinion. But what is not an opinion is that their older release disappear and they just focus on a newer release. A lot of brands do this. Versace is another example. They still have of their older fragrance, but anything that's before the year like 2000 slowly get discontinued unless it's something extremely popular or like extremely popular. But that brand, they keep focusing on their older fragrance, and I think it's nice. It's something, I think it's a bit sad that all those older fragrance seems to be disappearing. I know that their company, they need to make money, but if they just focus on the new stuff and the older fragrance that were still good get lost, it's a bit sad. And it makes people just buy older fragrance for crazy amounts. I think in fragrance there's a little bit of history, there's a little bit of path we took with the fragrance, and I feel that they are doing a good job at keeping these roots there and keeping the history of how fragrance are evolving. So hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me also what you think about that brand, about Aramis, and which fragrance you think it's the best from them. Personally, I would say the original Aramis is really nice. My favorite is Aramis 900. So tell me which one is yours in the comments. So thanks for watching and see you soon.